This is the Analects of Confucius, published by the Easton Press in 1976. As you're going to see, this is the most damaged Easton Press book that I've ever purchased online. This book is bound in this lovely grayish white leather. It's got a nice grain to it, and it feels nice in the hands as well. The front has this gold embossed design on it with these Chinese characters in the center. I'm not too sure what they say, maybe something like Confucius. The spine has a similar design with the Analects of Confucius in gold, publisher's logo at the bottom, and we do have a bit of a off-centered on the blocks here, which does look quite sloppy, especially at the top where it's the worst. And the back cover has the same design as the front, but this time it's completely filled in, so it covers the entire back cover. So unfortunately, there's not much room to look at that leather. It is quite a nice job though, and it's pretty deep in there. The page edges are all gilded. It's quite a nice job. And there are some headbands that are this yellow color. We have a silk bookmark, which is quite thick and nice feeling. It does feel strong, and it's a similar tone to the leather in terms of color, but it's got a bit more red to it, so it's a bit of a pinkish gray. It reminds me of a cherry blossom color almost, and it looks quite nice. It does have a few folds, but it's not too raggy. Inside the front cover, we have the chocolate brown silk moire end papers, which looks nice. We have this dark spot where a label was removed, so that's not Easton Press that did this, it was a previous owner. And that's the leftover glue that seeps down in between this, because if you can't tell, this material is textured. It's kind of like that 3D material. I forget what it's called, where you, hold on, I almost have it. Lenticular. The lenticular material where you can turn things and they look different in the light. Usually has an image on there or something that changes as you turn it. That's what this material is, basically. It's attached to this very thick cardstock, incredibly thick, and it feels very nice and luxurious in the hands. As for the paper of the book itself, it has a nice thickness to it, but it's not acid-free. You can see that the page has begun to yellow, and all the pages in this book have yellowed quite a bit, which is unfortunate because otherwise it's a nice book. Not this specific copy, but in general, this edition. We have our first signs of damage on the front here. A library stamp, I'm pretty sure. George and Sam Paris. Not too sure what name that is. It could be a library, but it might be a personal collector. We have the frontispiece here, which is a painting of Confucius that looks quite nice. You can see that this says the Analects of Confucius in this nice second tone of ink, this lovely reddish orange. Translated from the Chinese with an introduction and notes by Lionel Giles, something like that. And it's illustrated with paintings by Sen Yu Ho. If we look at the publishing information, you can see that this edition was actually taken from the Limited Editions Club edition, which used the exact same translation, illustrations, and all that. So this is likely the same text block almost, but a bit different. And this is 1976. And there are a few paintings in here. There's only 6 of them. I guess the artist has comments on the paintings as well, which is interesting. There's the little introduction. Oh, wait a second. Publisher's note, that's what that was. Yeah, publisher's preface. Then the introduction right here. It's quite a long introduction. 20 pages or so. As you can see, the paper is quite yellowed compared to other Easton Press books. If I grab another one here, you can see that this paper is immediately much whiter than this paper right here. In fact, it makes the paper here look almost orange in the light. This paper is clearly the neutral acid-free paper. Oops. So the newer Easton Press books have much nicer, whiter paper. Here's the beginning of the book. It has a very big, nice-looking font, very readable. There's one of the first paintings. It's got a bit of a foil design to it. You can see the gray is somewhat foily, which makes it stand out nice against the background. Soon we're going to come to the first bit of extreme damage in this book. But first, I guess we get another one of those paintings with that same dark silver foiling. Here we go. So we have this enormous dog ear in one of the pages, which isn't a deal breaker usually if you just want to read it. But then we have the worst damage I've ever seen in any book. You can see that the page was actually cut by someone with scissors. Somebody cut a piece of the page out. I'm not sure if they wanted a specific quote or something, but they took it right out of the book. I'm not sure why they would do that with an expensive book like this. We have some minor creases here, another dog ear. We have pen marks, so I'm guessing that the person who went through this book and cut stuff out was planning to cut this out as well. We have another cutout quote. The third of those paintings, that same dark silver foiling treatment, has a nice look to it. Another painting, more dark silver foiling. They're a little basic, but they have a nice atmosphere to them. They do look very austere. Not austere, more like ancient, I would say. More of these pen marks, another page that they were planning to ruin. Another huge dog ear up here, which they might have done this to mark the pages where they were planning to cut out. Another minor dog ear. More pen marks, another dog ear. Another dog ear with another quote cut right out of the book. Very unfortunate. The second or the last of those paintings. There's more minor creases at the top. Here's the final painting. I'm not too sure what any of these were supposed to be, but I guess they're nice to just take in or something. Definitely not nearly as good as the frontispiece. Not horrible, I guess. They're alright. That is also the end of the horrible damage done to this book. And of course, at the back, those same chocolate brown silk moire end papers as at the front. except now that I look at them, they do look a bit more metallic red than chocolate brown. Still on that very nice, extremely thick cardstock. That's all for this book. It's very unfortunate that it's damaged beyond reading basically. So it's more of a display piece now than anything. At least the outside looks nice, I guess, but a nice addition if you can actually get this specific copy. Just be aware that it doesn't have the acid-free paper like the newer Easton Press books do. But that's all. Thank you very much.